New York State MLS is a statewide MLS for all of New York. We cover the entire state from the eastern tip of Long Island all the way past Buffalo, reaching out to the Ohio border. And what sets us apart from, say a local MLS is the fact that we don't restrict these to just a specific area. We allow you to list properties anywhere in the state and essentially work anywhere in the state. And with our specially designed tools for you, you can really give your clients some of the best exposure possible for their listings when it comes to getting it seen in front of brokers throughout the state, as well as in front of the public, which could lead to more leads for you. Just like any other MLS, we do have membership fees. I like to get these out of the way. Some people like to ask right away. What we do is we offer individual pricing as well as office pricing. And with that, you can sign up as an individual. If you're a single broker, go ahead, sign up as an individual. We even allow individual salespeople to join. If just a single agent wants to join, we do require broker participation. Don't let that word scare you. Your broker does not have to pay anything in order for you to join. You are paying for your own account. There would be no cost to your broker or office if you were to sign up as an individual agent. When it comes to office pricing is based on the size of your office. If you have more agents, you could see a greater discount. So it's a great tool to get office pricing for companies. What they can do is use this as not only as a recruiting tool, but also a listing tool. So brokers, if you're interested in office pricing, definitely touch base with us. We can get you a price that would fit the size of your office and really be a great benefit for you. Because with the office pricing, again, you can use it as a recruiting tool. So if you've got new agents coming on or you're looking to hire new agents, you can tell them that in addition to what, your competition down the street is offering, you can also give them access to New York State MLS as well as the built-in My State MLS referral network, which we will be talking about in just a little bit. Then on the other hand of things, once you have your team and everyone signed up with New York State MLS, you can use that as a listing tool. And you can present this in front of your potential clients who are getting ready to sell their home. And I'll show you one of the great features that we have here that you can actually present and give to your potential clients to show them the benefits of using someone who is part of New York State MLS as well as that My State MLS network. One of the things that sets New York State MLS apart from other MLSs is the fact that we are cost effective and how we handle our syndication. And with that, we do syndication through a few different ways. Let me see if I can pull it up here. So we do listing syndications through ListHub, but we've also reached direct syndication agreements with Zillow, Trulia, Homes, and HomeFinder, which give you even more exposure on your listings that you could get through just a regular syndication service, which means the potential of getting more leads on your listings. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up a listing here. This is a listing from one of our members up here in upstate New York. And the first thing that you'll see is I want you to just take a look here at the property description. You'll see that we allow our members to put their contact information directly into the property description. This is actually going to get copied over and go to those syndicated sites. So here it is on homes.com. When you send your listings through New York State MLS, again, we do direct syndication to Zillow, Trulia, Homes, and HomeFinder. And on homes.com, you are going to be the only person listed on your listing, the only person with your direct contact information right there. And again, because we allow you to put your contact information into the property description, you can actually see that's right there on the public site. So not only is our potential buyers going to just come and see your listing, they've actually got two direct ways that they can go ahead and contact you directly. So that means you've got a much greater chance of a potential buyer coming to you directly for your property, and that's a great thing to have. On Zillow and Trulia, it's a little bit different. They have those premier packages, the premier agent packages. So those people will show up on your listing unless you are to pay them. But because your listing's coming from New York State MLS, you're automatically going to show up at the top of your listings, your name, picture, phone number. And again, on Zillow and Trulia, you can see that you'll be able to have your contact information directly into the property description. Again, just allowing you to have more exposure on your listings, allowing those potential buyers to come to you directly because they're going to see your information right there in the property description. Also, we allow you to put in virtual tour links. Not everyone has virtual tours, and we understand that. So what we do is we actually allow you to put in any kind of link. So say in this case, they put the actual company website link directly into that virtual tour link field, which I'll show you a little bit when we just go through the listing wizard and show you how quickly and easily you can actually get a listing up and running within just a few minutes. So that's some of the benefits of getting your syndication through New York State MLS, is that direct syndication where you can increase your exposure of yourself on your own listings, meaning you can get your leads sent back to you directly. Some websites you're the only one listed, and of course you've got the benefit of also being on Realtor.com and taking advantage of the List Hub syndication, which feeds out to about 4 or 5 dozen other public websites. One of the newest things that we've actually offered here in New York State MLS is international syndication. So what that does is that can get your listing out on up to 20 different sites around the world and convert your listing into 24 different languages. Now, if you're already part of New York State MLS and you're just learning about the international syndication, if you actually go to the Listings tab up here on the top of your profile page, you'll actually see that there is now a page for international syndication, which gives a list of some of the websites where listings can go. So, but going back, we'll go to that in just a little bit, but going back to the main profile page here, when you are to create a New York State MLS account, this is where you're always going to be brought back to. This is essentially your main hub or your home page, your wall, whatever you'd like to call it. It's your HQ for your NY State MLS account. From here, you can take advantage of all the different features, whether you want to edit your profile, see your listings, see any listings that are drafts. Those are your unfinished listings, listings that you started but are still waiting for the homeowner to sign off the listing contract. And then, of course, you can add a brand new listing. You can use Find, which is a powerful search tool which will give you the greatest search results when looking for listings, and that's one of the great features of New York State MLS, just one of the many. Of course, because I've already shown you, we've been here for a couple minutes and already going through and seeing all these different features that we offer you, all included with your accounts. And then the My Clients tab. Now, this is going to be a tool that's used in conjunction with My State MLS and the My State MLS Referral Network. And segueing into that, we're going to go to the My Profile. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. Mine is very basic right now, but when you log in, you can go ahead and edit your profile. Here's where you can edit your phone number information, your website, your license title, everything like that, and of course your bio. And you're going to see this brand new field here called zip code served. Now, this is what's going to determine the amount of referrals you can get through that MI State MLS referral network. So if you're already a member of New York State MLS, I suggest you do go in here, go into your account, and start adding in the zip codes that you serve. So just make sure that you do put a comma in between each one. And now what this is going to do is this is going to determine the area that you work. So when the My State MLS referral network comes into play, you can get those referrals sent to your inbox. And again, we'll go over how the My State MLS referral network works towards the later end of this webinar. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to quickly go over the listing process. It's very, very simple. We do offer many different ways for you to get your listings into New York State MLS for the office. Again, going back to the office pricing, we do allow you to send us your listings electronically through a data feed if you can provide one. But right now, we're just going to show you how to add listings directly into New York State MLS, whether you're an individual agent, broker, salesperson. So simply all you would do is click the Add Listing button. In here, you'll see we have a few different options. We can search the tax records. Now this works for a lot of the upstate and Long Island properties. What that'll do is that'll pull property information from the public records and plug that data into the listing for you. If you don't want to pull from the tax records, you want to start with a blank slate, you can go ahead and use the blank listing. The third option is for all of our city listings, anything in the boroughs. This is what you're going to want to use there. And then lastly is the clone of that inactive listing. This is for listings that have already been in New York State MLS. Say you've been a member of New York State MLS for a while. You've got a member who, or excuse me, you've got a client. They listed their house throughout the summer. It didn't sell. Winter came along, and they said, you know, let's just take it off the market. I'm going to be in Florida anyway, so no need to have it listed. They come back up in spring and they say, yo, we're ready to put our property back on the market. You can then go ahead, click that clone inactive listing, pull up that old listing via their MLS number, and then you're going to have a brand new listing with all the information from before, but then you can go ahead and update that listing, whether you have brand new pictures, you want to update the description, anything that you want to change about it, you go ahead and do that. For this demonstration, we're just going to quickly do a search the tax records here. Now, the way the tax record search works, it works by, you need to put in a county, but then you can search by 3 different options: the section, block, and lot number, the address, or by the owner's last name. When it comes to this, typically just do one. Don't do all 3. Try not filling it out as much as you can. When it comes to the tax record search, sometimes less is more. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and just type in a last name. You'll notice that there's a fuzzy box here. And what that'll do is that's going to search, say I don't know the owner's proper spelling, but I know that the last 3 letters are, you know, M-I-N. Then I could do a search, but then what this will do is this is going to give me all of the last names which begin with M-I-N-K. So I'm just going to go ahead and do Mink. I'll uncheck fuzzy, and I'll do my search. So I see my property here. I can click the name. This looks like the proper, yep, this is right to me. So what I'll do is say, yes, import this record. From here, I've got a few different options. I can go right to the listing wizard and begin listing my property. I can search the tax records and do more properties, you know, if I'm going to do multiple listings at once. Or I can search the hidden listings, which are my ones that are still in my draft folder. But right now, this is the only one I'm working on, so I'm going to click the listing wizard and get right into it. So you'll see that a lot of the information is already filled out because it's being imported in through that public record. So I'm just going to go ahead, put in a price. You'll see everything listed in red is a required field. Not everything was brought in for me, but that's okay because I can just plug in what I need to do. All right, that looks good. Now right now I'm starting the listing process. And you'll see that it's about an 8-step process, and each time that I go ahead and click that next step, my listing is being saved as a draft. The great part about that is if, say, I get a phone call and I have to step away from my desk, I don't have to worry about losing every single thing I did. I forgot that I had a listing appointment in 8 minutes and I better haul butt out of this office. I can do that. So you'll see the next step, it brought up a map. And what I can do is I can actually move this pin around if it wasn't actually in the right spot. Say it landed it here, but the property's over here. Okay, I can move that, but it was right on the money, so I don't have to do anything with it. Again, I just enter in my listing type, whether it's exclusive right to self, I've got an exclusive agency, and go ahead and put that in. I'm just going to change the date to last year just in case. I don't want this to actually go live on me. Then I can make a note for the access to the property. Then this next field, you'll see that these fields are in purple. These are your commission splits. You're not required to fill out all of them, but you do have to fill out one of them. So again, you just put in the buyer agent. Here you can put in a percentage. You can do a flat fee. You can type in, you know, I can do an amount. Whatever you want to put in there, you do have to offer some sort of split per the rules, so make sure you put that in there. Again, here you go. You can put in the type of sale, check all that apply. And click the next step. Again, you'll see that every time I click that next step, it's actually saving my listing as that draft. So this next page is just a lot of the details of the property. We'll see some of this stuff already filled in from those public records. The rest I'm just going to leave blank for now just for sake of the demonstration, so I'm not taking up your time. Now here's the most important part of the listing. So I'm just going to copy and paste here. I know this is not for that property, but just to show you how it can work. So you've got your virtual tour link. You can type in anything. If you've got a YouTube video that shows you, more information about the property, go ahead and put that in there. If you just want to send a link just back to your broker website, do that as well. Your bio page, do that. Whatever you want to put in there, you can. And below that is your marketing blurb and your public remarks. Now these two fields are similar, but they're very, very different in terms of where they go. The public remarks field is what's used on Realtor.com as well as the IDX. And the marketing blurb is what goes essentially everywhere else. And what sets these two apart is because Realtor.com has different rules, you cannot put in your contact information. So here in the marketing blurb, I type in all my information, including that contact information, that very, very important contact information that you want those potential buyers to see when they go on Zillow and Trulia. Now what I can do, instead of typing that all out again, I can just hit the copy marketing text, and it automatically copied it all over for me. But remember, I cannot self-promote, so no contact information is allowed in here. So I'm just going to copy that or highlight that, hit the delete key, it's gone. So that's going to be fine. Below that, we've got confidential remarks, which is only seen by New York State MLS members, then directions to the property. Next step is just your tax information and any HOA information if it's applicable to the property. And lastly, this is almost the last step, which would just be adding photos. So let me see if I can pull up some pictures for you. So I like to do this as a demonstration here. Is if your picture folder looks like this, there's one easy thing that you can do to just organize this. I always suggest people to use different folders and name them each property. So here I've got individual folders, each with their own individual address for a property that I'm listing. So if I ever see so when it comes to this step, I can just go ahead, pull up that folder, and I can just drag and drop those photos in. I click the Start Upload. You'll see it begins to upload the photos. And now here's where I can go ahead, reorganize any photos that I like, and add the captions. Once I'm done, I can go ahead and click Next Step. And this is essentially the last page that you would go through for your listing. You go ahead and, in order to make these go live, you do have to select one of these options. You will have to say yes to the first two, which is agreeing to the terms and conditions of listing the property within New York State MLS, and then that you have permission from the homeowner to list the property. The next option is whether or not you want the listing to go live. If you click no, it's going to go back into that draft folder, which was that red button I showed you on the home page. Then also we've got our feed to Realtor.com, as well as our direct feeds to Zillow, Trulia, Homes, and Home Finder. Then we also have our international feed, as well as July. July is part of international. What this is just one of the top international websites. We give you the option of doing selecting yes for both. And you've also got your list up syndication, which goes out to, again, those 4 or 5 dozen other websites. And then the IDX. If you're unfamiliar with an IDX, what it does is it allows you to put your listing on other members' websites who have an IDX feed. You can also, in turn, get the IDX feed for your website. And what that would do is put a search box on your company website, and visitors that come to your website would then be able to browse the New York State MLS listings as it was branded on your website. So if they see something they like, instead of them going to whoever listed it, you've got the chance of them coming to you directly because it's on your website. So I'm going to just select no for all these because I don't want this to go live right now. the listing's done, I can just go ahead and view it. And here's my listing. And again, then this would then go ahead and then go out and get syndicated on those public websites with my contact information directly in the property description, with my personalized virtual tour link, which goes back to my website. And then on Homes and Home Finder, I've got the ability of being the only person on my listing. Another great feature of Homes is they've got this Homes Connect lead tool that all of our members can get access to as well. So the last thing I want to show you before we get to the My State MLS Referral Network is Find. And this is going to kind of tie into it as well. Because what Find is a tool that's given to us and our members through Realtor.com. And what it does is it combines MLS data from all the different MLSs, not only just across New York, but across the entire country, and combines it with public record data to give you the most comprehensive search when looking for properties. So if you've got a client who's looking to move to a different part of the state, or maybe even a different part of the country, you can still help them do a search for a property and potentially put them in contact with a listing agent in that other area. So again, you'll see that there's almost 110 million properties across the entire country within Find. Now this is of all statuses, and Find breaks it down into 4 main categories. We have for sale, for rent, recently sold, and off market. Here in New York, I think we're pretty close to 6 million now. No, we're just at 5.1 million properties throughout the entire state. And so this is where I kind of go to the questions tab. Again, if you have questions throughout this entire presentation, go ahead and ask questions. But if you've got that open, go ahead and just give me a zip code, and let's see what we can find in that area. Okay, so I've got a few here. We got a lot coming in. So Ed Corliss gave me one, so 11767. I don't know where that is, so we're going to find out at the same time. So this looks like it's in Suffolk County. I'm not even going to try to say the name, but it's somewhere in Suffolk County. And so what we can do is we can see that these listings are coming from various different MLSs. Actually, these first 2 right here, we can actually see that next to where it says MLS, we can see that it's in MLS LI as well as in New York State MLS, where some of these other ones are just coming from the Long Island MLS. So if you were, say, a member in an area where it was sometimes required to be part of 2, 3, maybe even 4 MLSs to do your day-to-day business, having New York State MLS and this Finds tool could really help you cut down on some of your costs by not requiring you to join all these different MLSs. So you could still do all your business in all those surrounding areas and being able to see those listings through this Finds tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull up, say, one of these listings now. You'll see we've got a lot of different information just by the thumbnail results list, but let's just go. I just want to see what's for sale in that specific area. So here we go. So we've got a lot of different information. We're just going to look at this Janet Courthouse. Looks like we've got an open house coming up in a few days. We've got the list price, some basic information about the property, when it was last updated, which was today, who's listing it, which MLS it's coming from, as well as the homeowners. A lot of great information right there, especially if you were keeping an eye on this property and it expired. You've got the property owner's information right there. So let's open up the listing. We can see that, of course, this listing is both on New York State MLS and MLS LI. So let's just open up the MLS LI listing. So we'll see we've got open house information. Essentially, you're getting a full agent listing with all the different information on it. The only thing missing from Find's listing reports is the agent split. So what you can do is contact the listing agent directly, which you'll see is right here at the bottom of the listing, as well as the broker's name. So essentially everything that you would need for information about this property right there. So you can then go ahead, share this with your client, which I'll show you in just a second. And if they say, hey, I like this property, I want to see it, Or if your client sends you a text that says, "Hey, I'm interested in this property on Janet Court. Can you show it to me?" You can say, "Okay, let me look it up." You look it up and find. You'll see that Tracy's the listing agent. I send her an email. I try calling her at the office, and I set up an arrangement to go see the house. We also have public data information, which gives you tax information, census tract, anything that you would need to use. Even for appraisers, you can use this tool to look up comparables. We've got listing history of the property. This is a great feature to use. If a property was bought a year ago, then flipped, you can actually see what it went for in the past. And also the photo archive. If a property was flipped, sometimes you can go back and see the history of that photo. So you can see the interior photos a year ago before it was flipped, and then again now and how it looks now. Again, we've got full-size pictures we can go through and flip through on the house, as well as community info. Just gives you some basic information about the area, who owns, who rents, basic information like that. And then we've got the schools information, which breaks down which schools are in the area and which school district the property lies in. So say my client didn't tip me off about this house, but I think this is a great house for them. What I can do is I can actually print up a branded report for them, or I can email it to them. So I like these. I'm just going to send them these few houses because they've got open houses coming up, and I think maybe I can try to show them to them. I'm going to click this Add to Report button, and you see each time that I do it, it's actually going to get sent up to my report bin up here in the top right corner. So you see it goes up there. It shoots up. So now I've got 3 properties in my report bin. Now what I can do is I can create a customer long report which is branded with my information and is going to go directly to my client, and they can go ahead and use it. So I'm not in my account right now, so I can't show you. But what you can do is have this fully branded with your information, your personal picture here, your contact information, email, phone number, office address, all in the center, as well as your company logo on the right. There's no information about the listing agent, no contact information, not even the name is on here. So this is a branded report with all of your information at the top. So when you send this off to your client, whether you print it up for them or you share it via email, they're going to see it with all of your information. So I like this. I'm going to send this off to my client. Just be mindful. Name it something clean. Don't say anything bad about your client. Don't say like doofy big glasses, I don't want, because that's going to be at the top of my report. You'll see that it's called, my report is now called Doofy Big Glasses. So when I send it to Ray, he's not going to be happy with me. So I call it Greg Smith. I send it off to him. So after I save it, it gives me a link. I then go ahead, copy and paste this into an email. Greg will get that email. He'll click that link, and again, it'll generate a brand new report for him with all that information. So we'll let this load up. And while that loads up, I'm just going to talk to you about how Find is just a great tool, which we showed you the for sale listings. I'll show you how we can even do it for sold as well. So now Gary Smith gets the report. He sees these 3 properties. This is just essentially giving him a thumbnail look at the property. But again, it is branded with all of your information at the top. So if he likes it, he's easily going to get back to you. So now we're going to go back to Find. And let's do another zip code. So Jose sent this one in. So now this is New Hyde Park out in Nassau County. But instead of looking for what's for sale, let's see what's been recently sold. Now what you can do, this search bar at the top is essentially a smart search bar. Anything that you want to throw in there, it's going to try to determine what you're talking about. So I'm going to type in 4 bedrooms. I'm going to go with 3 baths. And as I enter this information, I continually narrow down my search. But I want to narrow it down by more than just this zip code. I can actually go ahead and pull out my map, and I can physically draw on this map. So while this zip code covers a pretty decent sized area, I just want to focus on this area here. So I go ahead, use that, and then I can see what's been recently sold featuring this criteria with the three bathrooms, 4 bedrooms in that specific area. Perfect. I can also do what's nearby and pull up my comparables within a 2-mile radius of this property, which I can see here again in the map. And again, I can also adjust my criteria if I want to do a larger price range. I can do that as well. So that's just another great way to use Find, whether you're doing trying to do a CMA, if you're an appraiser looking for comparables. Find is a great tool no matter what you're doing. So the big thing that we're really excited to talk to you about today is My State MLS. So My State MLS is our brand new expansion to New York State MLS. And what this allows you to do is work beyond not only here in New York, but anywhere in the state, or excuse me, anywhere in the country. We just launched My State MLS, and already we have thousands of members throughout the Eastern Coast, and we're expanding in all different states, in Washington State, Colorado, California. We're getting people everywhere now joining this My State MLS referral network. And the way that it works is, again, it allows you to get clients or potential clients moving to your area, as well allow you to collect a referral fee by referring your client who's moving out of your area to another member within the My State MLS network. So I'm going to show you how that will work through your New York State MLS account. So the first thing you'd want to do is make sure that you go back to editing your profile and edit those zip codes that you work in. This is what's going to determine if you get leads sent to you for clients coming to your area. So I've got a few here. Of course, make sure you put in all the ones that you work in. So once you've got that set, and then you want to work, you've got a client, you're selling their home, but they're moving to Florida. Okay, it happens. I'm ready to move to Florida too. So you go ahead, click the My Clients tab, and you can have a client here. So I'm going to create a brand new client called Tom Jones. What's new, Pussycat? So he right now lives on 90 State Street in Albany. I can put in his personal information, as well as the preferences. So he's looking to move out of New York. He's ready to move to Florida. So we'll just put in Fort Lauderdale. Oops. So he's ready to move to Florida. So I put that in there. And whatever the zip code is down there, I just put that in there. So I go ahead and I save that. But while he's saved here in my Clients tab, he's not yet in the referral network. So you'll see here at the bottom of his main client profile tab, it says Add to Referral Network. So I'm going to click that button. He is now in the referral network. And the way the My State MLS, New York State MLS referral network works is because the preference that I put in was 12346 Florida zip code. I know it's not really, but I just put that in there for demonstration purposes. Now what will happen is our system will then go ahead and email a handful of agents in the My State MLS referral network my information. They're not going to send them Tom Jones's information, but they're going to send them me, Tom Tester's information. They're going to say, greetings, Tom Tester in New York has a potential client referral lead for you, someone looking to buy a home in an area that you service, area code or zip code 12346. then those members, those handful of people, then can contact Tom Tester and say, hey, Tom, I think I can help your client out. I've got some leads. I think we'd be a great fit to work together. Tom and that member in Florida then work out a referral fee, whatever they want to agree on. We as New York State MLS and My State MLS do not get involved with the referral fee process. We do not take anything off the top. That is just strictly between the two members. Tom says, okay, you know what? I like it. Let's do it. They draft up a referral fee contract, but just between the two of them. Then they go ahead and work that out. Then Tom goes ahead. We'll be able to send that client information over to whoever they're working with in Florida. That person then meets up with those clients, shows them a house. They like it. They buy it. That Florida broker gets that, they get their commission. Then they send the check off to Tom, whatever, percentage they agreed on. So that's how the referral network works. Again, that's through all of the states where we have members. If you're trying to find a member for someone in North Dakota, if there's no one in there yet, we've got staff on hand they're actively looking for new members for the My State MLS referral network. So it's constantly growing and it's constantly evolving. So you won't leave your clients hanging high and dry. So again, going back to the profile, go ahead. You can put in all the zip codes that you work in, and that will make sure that you are set up for those referrals. And lastly, we're just going to take a quick look at the resources and forms page. If it's been a while since you've been on it, you'll see that there's a lot of new things on here, because we also have the agent referral form. So this is what you can use if you're going to work with someone in the My State MLS network. Go ahead, you can use this agent referral form. We also have your member certificate, which is always great. You can go ahead, print this up, frame it up if you want. I've seen members frame it up, put it on their desk. You can hang it on your wall, or you can just put this in your listing binder, so when you go to listing meetings with clients, you can show that off to them. We also have the My State MLS member certified member badge, as well as the My State MLS badge. You can go ahead, print those up, put those on any of your social networking sites. You can put them on your Facebook page. You can print them out and put them on your office window. Those are for you to use. And again, I also mentioned this earlier in the day, is the Your Home on New York State MLS benefit sheet. This is something that you can print up and give to your potential clients. And this will be on there. You can always get it. It's always being updated. And you hand this to the homeowner looking to list their home, and it just gives you the benefits pretty much cut and dry that they can see and see why they should go with a New York State MLS member. So right now I'm going to just I'm going to open up the floor to Dawn Pfaff, our president, and see if she has anything to discuss. Unmute your mic here for a second and see if, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good.
Thanks for the webinar. Good job so far. I wanted to reach out to a few people who are on the webinar who are asking some questions. We're getting a couple questions about Find specifically, and how you do a nationwide search in Find. So if you put nothing into Find, everything in the nation comes up. Just by opening it, you'll see that there's 109 million properties there. And if you just type the word for sale up in the search bar, you'll see that there's 2.88 million properties in Find for sale. Now you can break it down by typing the word land. Someone asked about land. So just type land. And nationally, there's 775,000 land properties for sale. And then you can break it down by state. Type NY, hit enter, and now there's 17,000 properties in Find. So as you keep adding to that search bar and hitting enter, you get the new search results numbers. So that's how you do a Find search. Doug wants to know if we can find rentals. Sure, we have the word for sale of property status, but we could change that to for rent and find rentals that way. 10,962 properties in that circle for rent. And you will see when it's for rent and for sale, like the second property down, 35 Juniper Lane, is both for sale and for rent. For rent, they're asking $5,000. It's right there on the home page. And the sale price is $1,263,458. So that's how you can find properties for rent or for sale. Diane's asking about pricing on our website, and I think she means what it costs to become a member. It's $29.99 a month if you want to pay monthly. If you want to pay for the year, you can get 2 months for free. It's $300 for the entire year, so that's a 20% discount if you pay yearly. And there's office pricing. So we have many brokers who have signed up for office pricing since it became available just about a year ago. If you would like office pricing, that's based on the number of people in your firm. So you just have to let us know how many people are in your firm, and then we'll just tell you how much it is, and your broker can pay monthly for the entire firm. If you'd like to suggest that to your broker and give us a call, our number is 888-769-7657, or you can email info@nystatemls.com. When you get office pricing, everyone in the office gets an account, and everyone gets all the benefits that New York State MLS has. We don't charge extra for any of our benefits, and we're constantly adding to the benefits. We added the international syndication this year, and we get leads all the time. Our members are getting international leads from all over the world because of this international syndication. And our members are also getting listings like crazy because of the international syndication. It really sets you apart, and I don't know of any other MLS right now in New York that gives the amount of international exposure that New York State MLS gives. I do know that there are other services out there that do international syndication, but they charge a large amount on a per listing basis to do that international syndication. We do not charge any extra. Once you're a member, you get all of our benefits. So you can use any of them at any time, and there's no extra charge for any of that. Diane is asking, how would the international work? Diane, when you're on a listing that you've entered, you have the choice of sending your listing to the international page. And maybe I can get Dave to bring up what the international page looks like so that we can see all the places where your listings will go. They go to all of these pages here, and these are pages throughout Europe and Asia that translate your property into both their language and their currency. It's sometimes very difficult to find your property on their sites. That's because of the way that other people search in other countries. These sites are really designed to be used on the international level, and they search differently than the Americans search. When I go to Juwai, which is the Chinese site, it's very difficult for me to navigate that site. It's in Chinese. I can click translate to English, but it doesn't translate very well. So that's the problem that Chinese people have when they go to American sites. When Chinese people go to Zillow or Realtor.com, they have the same issues as we have when we go to Juwai. But our listings are on Juwai, and it's easy for them to find it because they're used to using Juwai. They're used to searching in Chinese. They want to see the property in their language and in their currency. And that's why it is important to do international syndication if you want to catch international buyers. So and that's extremely important today. Many people, especially in New York, many of the sales are happening from the international buyer. And New York is a hub. It's an international hub. So it's very important to have that exposure and to use that on listing appointments. Elizabeth wants to know, is there a tutorial available for the MLS system that reviews the navigation use tools and trains users? Elizabeth, we put these webinars up on our Facebook page for you to review. But we also give private classes, private webinars, and you can just give us a call and we will give you a private lesson at any time if there's anything more that you need help with. We have a chat right on our website and we will chat with you. So if you go right to New York State MLS, click the chat bar, we'll chat with you. We'll also do a screen share and show you how to do anything you need. And we are here all the time. We love to get calls. We like when you call us. We want to teach you how to use our site. So Dave's showing you right now what the chat looks like. And we will live chat with you. All right, there's lots of questions here. Latin America. John is asking about Latin America. John, right now, only Realtor.com International for Latin America, but we are just starting to work with a site in Brazil and throughout, there's another site throughout Latin America, and that is being mapped now. It's not live yet. As soon as it goes live, we'll send emails that the Brazilian site and the South American sites are live, but they are not live yet. Realtor.com International is our international syndicator for South America right now. Diane is asking, when we put in our listings here, do we need to also put in our MLS or is it carbon copied? Some people only use New York State MLS and some people use 2 MLSs. So Diane's using Long Island as well. Diane, it depends on who your broker is. Some brokers send us their listings every day, and you will not have to type them twice. But if your broker isn't doing that yet, then you will need to enter it twice if you want it to be in New York State MLS as well as Long Island. Andy is asking, do we need to join New York State, my state MLS in addition to New York State MLS? Andy, if you're a member in New York State MLS, you're a member of my state MLS. You are already a member of the referral network and you're already set up to get referral leads. Just go in and add your zip code so we know where you want to work and where you want to receive leads from. Rafi would like to see how the IDX search looks. There are many IDX searches and the way you can do it. We have a search box you can use, the search box. Dave, can you go to SimonGrayRealty.com? That is my website, and I'm actually giving that website a facelift, but the old website is still up right now. And if you click Search Listings Now, this is what the New York State MLS search box looks like. Now let me just explain this a little bit. You can get this for $29.99 a month on your website. IDX is extra for the search box. If you go to standard search or you have New York City search, you can fill that out. Click on New York City search. Yeah, let's do Manhattan. Not all the listings are in our search box. We have many listings. A lot of people do not opt in to the New York State IDX in Manhattan, but they do in the other boroughs. That's pretty common. Eduardo wants to know, can I mail properties to my client directly from the MLS? Absolutely, Eduardo. If you're in New York State MLS, there is an email button at the top when you're on any listing. So we're going to go to the hot sheet and just show you some of the hot sheet listings that we have today. There are a ton of listings. Lately, there's more listings than fit on the hot sheet. But here's a Brooklyn listing. And Dave clicked email, and you just put in the email of your client and click send email. When you send the email, this is really important, it will be branded by the sender of the email. So Eduardo, if you were sending an MLS listing to your client, it will have your name on it and it will say presented by you. Not listed by you if it's not your listing, but presented by you. And the contact information will not be in that email. The person who receives your email will get the public remarks, that's the unbranded remarks, so that the listing is presented by the person who's sending it to their client. Sam Farrell is asking, what's a hot sheet? All right, let's explain the hot sheet, Dave. Hot sheet's the latest listings. It's the brand new listings for the last 24 hours or so. Sometimes it goes as much as at 48 hours. But it is, if you go to the hot sheet, you can just see the newest listings and what has come on New York State MLS. And these are within the last few minutes. They come on every minute or so. So you can see all the different counties all over the state where people are entering listings. And we even have listings from other states. We have many members in Florida, North Carolina, New Jersey, Connecticut, Pennsylvania, and they'll come on the hot sheet as well. And you'll be able to sort the hot sheet. You can also search the hot sheet. The hot sheet, these are the new listing hot sheet. We also have the sold hot sheet. These are the most recent sold listings. We have the price changes, the price change hot sheet, and the pendings and the expireds. So there is an expired listing hot sheet. Oh, is it possible? Oh, Vanessa. She wants to know, is it possible to see agent notes, which outlines commission splits to buyers' agents? So click on any listing in the hot sheet, Dave, so I can show Vanessa where that would be. So if you see down there, this broker commission is 3%. And if there was private remarks, they would be there, but there are no other additional private remarks. They would be under confidential remarks. See if we can find one here. See, the confidential remarks are there, but they're empty. So there's no specific confidential remarks on this particular listing, but the broker commission is 2.5%. Can you see that there? Right next to the listing date. This is in New York State MLS. In Find, there are no commission splits or confidential remarks. In New York State MLS, there are commission splits and there are confidential remarks. Sometimes you will see a commission that looks funny, like on a rental. Some rentals are do not pay a fee. They get a fee from the broker or from the potential renter. That's more common in Manhattan. Sometimes there is a rental fee for the rental agent. So if you do see something funny in that remark, you can call the broker and ask them what the commission split is, because they're a member of New York State MLS. They have agreed to cooperate and compensate our other members. So that's very important. If you see something funny in there, it's a rental, and sometimes through the feed we get some garbled information. Sometimes that happens. Please, you can report that to us. If that is the case, which doesn't happen that often, but when it does happen, you call the broker, you ask them what the split is. They should work with you. If they don't, you can report them to the office here at New York State MLS. This is an MLS, and an MLS is about cooperation and compensation. So it is important to us that our members do cooperate and compensate with each other. Sam's asking, my state MLS, is there a discount for New York State MLS subscribers? Sam, all of our New York State MLS members become automatic members of the My State MLS referral network. If you have a license in more than one state and you list property, you have a Florida license and you want to list Florida properties, you're allowed to do so. Put them into New York State MLS. They will go into My State MLS, and you will be able to list properties in both states. So if you get a New Jersey license, which has reciprocity with New York, or a Connecticut license, you can list your properties in multiple states. We do allow that. As long as you're a broker and or your broker is agreed to participate with our other members. Tom Denton is asking what our relationship is to NYSAR. New York State MLS is not directly related to NYSAR, although we were approved by the NAR to send our listings to Realtor.com. There was a large and long approval process, which we received that well over 4 or 5 years ago now. We are owned by private brokers who are all realtors. So I personally am a member of NYSAR, and any person with New York State MLS is also a NYSAR member, but you do not have to be a NYSAR member to join New York State MLS, because that's a requirement we can't make, and I don't believe any MLS is really allowed to make that requirement. We do have many REBNY members in Manhattan who are not NYSAR members, but they are members of the Real Estate Board of New York instead, and that is fine. And they can be members of REBNY, you can be members of NYSAR, or you do not have to be an association member. You can still list properties as long as you are licensed in New York State. You must be licensed in New York State, otherwise you cannot become a member of New York State MLS. You must be licensed. You can actually be licensed in another state as well. You do not just have to be licensed in New York. We take licensees in New Jersey and Connecticut and all the different states, but you may only list and practice real estate where you are licensed. So don't get confused. Just because we've opened up a multi-state MLS and multi-state referral network doesn't mean you can practice real estate where you are not licensed, but you can receive referral fees. So if you were looking to get more referral fees, and we see our members get referrals back and forth all the time. So if you're looking to get referrals from other states, give referrals to other states, and get international leads, New York State MLS is for you. We got over 1.3 million views on homes.com in the month of August alone for our members. That's just one of our syndication partners, over 1.3 million views for our members. And if I add up Zillow, Trulia, and all of the rest, it's above 10 million for our members on search views for our listings. So we are getting huge exposure on the third-party sites, and we are getting actually huge exposure on New York State MLS as well. And we give direct leads from homes. We've given out thousands of leads last month alone just on homes.com, Zillow, Trulia, Home Finder, our international network, and our referral network too. So give us a call if you have any questions. Let's put that contact information back up there, Dave. Call us anytime, chat with us, and we give private tutorials as well if you need them. And I want to thank everybody for coming today to the webinar, and we look forward to talking to you and seeing your listings real soon.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday afternoon, right? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Go out there, enjoy the day, enjoy the sun, enjoy what is left of the summer weather. If you have any questions, again, always contact us via phone or email, and we'll gladly help you out in any way we can. All right, hope to see you guys out there, and hope if you're not a member of New York State MLS yet, we hope to see you here soon. All right, bye.